Dantes, how nice is this? It's getting added to PB next week. Heckram will be unstoppable. What's this? Getting your team on board with identifying the problem can be difficult, and having everyone spamming different teammates can be very confusing. We're introducing a new voting function that will appear when your teammate is getting giga gapped and curb stomped. That will function similarly to a surrender vote. Now all players can vote to agree on who is pissed. And deserves all the humiliation, flame, and slurs thrown their way. No longer can they shoot off to escape the reality that they are indeed fucking awful and can no longer hide in their own delusion. Alright, chat, I've been streaming for 3 hours. Are we gonna get in a single Heckram game? What do you guys think? Oh, so now it's support actually banned Heckram. Oh, okay. And what if I told you guys that it's like really insane? Because that fucking Poggers guy targeted me like 3 games recently as well. So it's like this guy hasn't played any ranked games in 3 days. And the first thing he does is queue up to int. Okay. Does Empanadita give me jungle? Does the enemy team ban Heckram? Oh! Can this guy just first pick me? Because I really just don't feel like having it like stolen. Hold on, let me just go bathroom. 1 second. Ah, so X-Bone got the Heckram for me, okay? I own Lucian. How do you feel about summoner names being hidden in Champ Select? It's good. Let me explain why. Let me put you guys in a scenario. I'll use the power of analogy to explain to you guys why summoner names being removed is actually really good. So, first things first, let's get one thing out of the way. Dodging is something in League that isn't supposed to be in the game. Dodging is meant to be an emergency thing that people do if they're literally unable to play the game while they're in Champ Select and they just have to leave, okay? It was never made with the intention of being a way of climbing. It was never made with the intention of like dodging, let's say, bad teammates or autofills, right? Because the thing is that the system we have in place makes everything fair because it's equally unfair for everyone. No matter if you're TF Blade or if you're a hardsuck random Iron 4 guy, your account is subjected to the same limitations of the matchmaking system as everyone else's is, okay? So the thing about it is that when we have summoner names in Champ Select and then people can see the names of people, all this can ever do is lead to negative outcomes. What do I mean by that? Okay. You have a guy on your team, he's a 90% win rate smurf. So, what do? Oh, I don't think I need to try as hard, so you lock in something random. That's a bad outcome. Oh, this guy on your team is autofilled? Well, then you're gonna dodge or you're gonna troll pick. That's bad, right? Oh, this guy's on your team and you don't really like him? You're gonna troll pick. Oh, that's bad, right? Oh, this guy's on your team and he was in your last game and he underperformed, so now you're going to try to force a dodge to like make the lobby dodge? Again, that's bad. So as you guys can clearly see, there's literally nothing good that comes out of seeing names in Champ Select. Unless what? You see your friend's IGN and you're like, yo, bro, what's good, man? But that doesn't actually add anything to the game itself. It's just like the social aspect. Whereas everything that's added to the game itself is a negative thing, right? Of people sitting there and not caring, or people troll picking, or people forcing dodges, whatever it might be. So now we're gonna have that one fucking absolute fucking Einstein who's gonna come to the chat and say, "But Dantes, what you have to understand is that if I'm there and I have a guy who's on my team and he's disco noo-nooing, but I can't OPGG him to see that he's inting, then I'm gonna lose for free. What kind of BS is that?" And what I have to say to you, Jimmy, is get cancer. And the reason why I say that, right, in game, is because that'll happen literally 1 out of 50 games. Literally. 1 out of maybe 50 or even 100 games, you're going to have that guy inting. And want to know something? With the way the matchmaking system works, you're going to have that happen to the enemy team equally as much. So the only thing dodging does is it completely fucks up the matchmaking system. How many times have you guys been there and you get an 80% win rate lobby, right? You get an 80% win rate lobby and you're there and you're like, oh my god, we win. And then it's like someone dodges on the enemy team and then you get in a lobby and you have fucking Ahmed Jamal locking in Blitzcrank jungle first time with a 20% win rate as an ADC made. And all you can think is like, why the fuck did they have to dodge, right? But how many times does it happen to you that free wins get dodged and then you like dodge free losses, right? But the thing about it is that eventually everything comes into like play equally as much. So it's like dodging just makes things take longer. It doesn't actually remove the ability for you to like dodge losers queue necessarily. All it does is make shit take longer, literally. So that's why removing names from Jam Select is actually a really good thing. And anyone who doesn't think so is just like uneducated. Do you go Udio this game? It's time to whip out the fucking Charisma. Let me try a Kane game. We'll see if the fucking Kane can be saved. I'm like, that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys, right? It's like, people are going to be them, they'll be like, dude, I had an autofill though. Okay, well, the enemy team probably had one too. And even if they didn't, even if they fucking didn't, then next game they will, right? So by sitting there and always dodging and doing all this shit, it's like, it's super cancer. Any things added to the game that reduces the amount of dodging that's done is a good change, always. Always, always, always. See, like, how cancer is this? How cancer is this? Imagine I sit there and I got like 3 lobbies in a row where I got Hecarim, and then I get like banned, so then now I get Kane, and now I'm the one making people dodge. But it's not my fault, right? Like, nameplates are literally the worst thing ever. And I'll take it one step further. I think we shouldn't even be allowed to see names in-game either. Literally. Names should only be something you see at the end of every game. You shouldn't be able to see it in-game, unironically. Do you think if a player sees someone they don't like in the game, they will int them though? Well, so be it. But they were gonna int that guy from Cham Select regardless. Right? At least the game doesn't have to be a dodge, literally. Because fuck it, dude, I'd rather you don't understand, especially in high-low, how cancer dodges are. What if I told you that just because of dodges, I have 116 Hecarim games, but if dodging wasn't a thing, I'd probably have 150. I'd have 40 more Hecarim games, literally just because people wouldn't know I was in queue, so they wouldn't just ban it. Because then the problem with dodging is that dodging makes it so that now, you ban out... Okay, let me show you guys why it's so, like, toxic. We get in the lobby. Doaenel's on Hecarim. Humza's on Draven. Feather Daddy's on Rakan. Right? Young Fappy's on Teemo top. We have 4 one-tricks on their champs. Guess what? Someone dodges. Whoever dodges. And now, next lobby, the next 5 lobbies that people are going to get in, ban Hecarim, Draven, Rakan, and fucking, and Teemo. And then guess what? Then everyone's like, oh, the one-tricks are off their one-tricks. Yo, dodge, 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 dodge. And then dodge, 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 dodge. And it just becomes this never-ending cycle of just dodging and dodging and fucking dodging. And it's so cringe. What if I told you that if dodging were to get removed, a lot of the people who you guys see above 1,000 LP would barely make low challenger? Unironically. Because what if I tell you that dodging is a mechanic that people use, right? Because what they're going to do is they sit there, bad team, they dodge. And then if they see dodges, they just target ban one-tricks, perma. That's the way, like, look at Cat Evolved. Cat Evolved literally got rank 1 because he'd target ban one-tricks every fucking lobby, literally. Similar to how Panzer Dragon used to as well, right? So it isn't necessarily that these people are like, not that they're not skilled, they're all highly skilled, right? But what I'm saying is that they're inflating their LP number massively by only queuing when they're at their best and doing all these like different tricks. You can't blame players for using everything they can to get more LP. The only time it's permissible for a player to do that is if they're a content creator. Because if they're a content creator, then LP count actually matters for like getting people in. Does that make sense? It's like, imagine you're going to the club and instead of making yourself look better and going to the gym, you make everyone else ugly by smearing shit on them, right? But it's like, you have to do that to get more attention. Does that make sense? That's essentially what content creation's like. But the weird thing is that then the pros who do that, they're fucking weird. Because pros, they should go in with the intention of every game being as hard as possible. But if you're a regular player wanting the highest skill possible without being a pro player like YouTuber, isn't tarbang also the best thing to do for your goals? Yeah, but you just have cancer if you do that. Because what are ranks? Ranks are a reflection of skill. If you're doing things that make games easier so that you can make other people think you're more skilled than you actually are because you care that much about what other people think, then you're kind of pathetic, no? If you think about it. Like, ranks are a reflection of skill. So should it not be that you sit there and you want to have like the skill that accurately identifies what you are? No, you want to have it inflated because you want people to think that you're better than you actually are because you're insecure. People who target ban, it comes down to insecurity, like very deep-rooted insecurities. That's why I say the majority of like aspiring amateur or collegiate or pro players who target ban people in league, a lot of the time the only reason they want to become like pros isn't because they actually want to become the best, it's because they're attention starved from girls, unironically. Because when they were younger, they got no attention from girls, so now they want to become a pro player so they can be like, oh yeah, girls, look at me now, like, I'm worth something, you know? Like, no cancer. Or it's literally because they want to win, lol. See, the thing is, I love people like you because you don't actually delve further into the ideas you have. You're gonna be like, people target ban one chicks because they want to win. Okay. Why do they want to win? Well, they want to win so that they can have a higher rank. Okay. Why do they want a higher rank? Well, they want to win because they want a higher rank so that they can become better at the game. Okay, but if they want to become better at the game, then shouldn't they not target ban? So that they can play versus people at their best, and even if the rank is slightly lower, at least they're becoming better? Well, I mean, well, then they want to get a higher rank so that people think they're better at the game. Okay, then I'm right. So no matter what, I'm just right. Like, I'm literally just right about what I say. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, you'll come to the same realization. You just need to ask yourself why. Every time you have a thought, just ask yourself why. Alright guys, what if I told you? Now we win. Well, karma's said. Talon fucking into though. Thank God for that. Honestly, he wasn't expecting me to be there, but I don't know why he wasn't expecting that. I'll never forget one day something that happened that actually made me like rethink everyone that flames, right? So there was one day I was there and I was in a call with Stevens, right? And Stevens legitimately lost, I'm not kidding when I say this, $5,000. He lost $5,000 in less than 24 hours, right? In crypto. And his net worth was maybe around like, let's say 5 to 10 after that, right? He gets in game with the guy starts flaming him. So Steven says, I can buy your entire family. I just made 20K this last week. And that's when I realized, I was like, holy shit. This is really the majority of people that flame. Like, it's just all projection, you know? Anything a person's gonna flame you by saying online, they feel deep down. Nice. And then we just kill Talon, and then I can do Dragon after. Perfect. It's always projection, always. I'll tell you guys something. Every time in my life that I've been genuinely happy and content, I've never even felt the need to flame another person. Even if they're inting me or whatever else it might be, I just leave it. I couldn't care less. Good. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't realize Maokai was fucking low there. If Swain's here, it's kind of cringe. Nice. Alright, well now I have a lead to actually win the game. Alright, we just do this for free. The only way this goes bad is if Mordekaiser comes, and even if he does, we kill him. How do you convince your brain to grind out of shitlow in ranked? Just ask yourself why you want to do it. So for me personally, the thing that always drove me to wanting to become better was that my brother was always a higher rank than I was, and he would get it like pretty much effortlessly, right? I just always wanted to grind so that I could finally be better than him at something. Because he was always better than me at everything else, right? Like every other game we'd play, he'd always be better. Fucking Minecraft PvP was better. FPSs, he was always better, right? So then League was just the one thing where I was like, you know what? I'm going to become better. And then even though initially I was bronze 5 and he was like silver 2, I ended up outranking him. And then when he got gold and I was still silver, I said, fuck it, I'm going to get gold. And then what ends up happening is that I hit gold and he's like, oh, you're so bad, doesn't matter. And then I hit plat before him. And then he's like, oh, it's only because you played more than I did. And then I hit diamond. And he said, oh, if I had the same amount of hours than you, I'd be masters. And then I hit masters. And then he said, oh, if I had the same amount of you, I'd be rank 1. And then I hit challenger. And that's when he was like, okay. And then he came in my room one day. He was 2-2 in his diamond promos. And he said, please, can you just duel with me on a smurf? And I looked at him and I said, no. And then he sat there and he queued up a game. And he went versus famous Nubrak, the fucking roaming Teemo top player that would take like smite and shit and give cancer. And Nubrak was playing a Mumu. And at 35 minutes, Nubrak stole the fucking Baron for his team. And he solo won his team the game. And my brother lost his diamond promos and didn't play League for like 6 months after. Okay, I think I just want to reset for Doaenel soon. Doaenel, let me probably get mad at me next. Oh, the FF? Winner skew. If I tell you guys it's winner skew.